Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Give us a second here. He's almost ready.
Am I new at this?
Yeah.
Am I new at this?
This is becoming a habit over here.
Yeah, you know what?
Good thing Tom Coughlin doesn't run this
I want to
station.
see what you got, okay?
Yeah. I got nothing.
Sometimes you know what you do.
I think we know what I have.
JJ, sometimes you don't. You just put the backup in, you know? You don't
Put him
prepare
on the spot.
Let's see what he's got. I mean, see what someone's got around here. Welcome to the program, final. But I do have a question. What time's that 4 o'clock show start? That's what I don't know, okay? I need the details, okay? What time we start?
We still do have 30 seconds left of bumper music. If we could just play that.
I didn't know what time they're starting that 4
Wow,
o'clock
you're
show these
switching
days.
mic covers, and
But
I love it.
I brought my mic cover in late.
see.
I'm too socials with it. I'm not talking to people is what's happening, okay? So I got that going on in my life. So there's that, okay? So I'm the worst thing is that Max is finishing, and I know it, and I'm fumbling. I had the fumble going, you know.
There were some issues with ball security there.
Certainly had some ball security issues. Welcome to the program. 30 seconds late. Glad you're with us. Frangie, Carline, and LaSelva with you. A lot of things to get to today, including a Super Bowl, including a Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. I want to kind of go over the coaching hires. Which ones jumped out? Which ones didn't? Who will do well? I'm interested in your take, not yet, but I'm interested in your take on the Titans. How Robert Saleh will do. Gus Bradley there with him. We didn't talk a lot about that.
A lot of head
yesterday.
coaching experience on that staff.
There
but
really
they don't-
is.
I mean, they don't have a lot of success.
Well, but
they do have a lot of head coaching experience with Dayball and Gus. And
yeah, and
Saleh, obviously,
and the Giants.
second try.
Giants bring in Nagy, who's also head. It's a very interesting carousel. It would be when a third of the coaches are
It was
gone.
stunning.
Yeah.
That 10 jobs
10.
opened up.
10. It's really, that is stunning. So 10 jobs did open up. So yeah, so we'll certainly talk about that today on the program as well. I also want to say this. We on our program, Rick obviously talks a lot of Florida State. On our program, we talk a lot of Florida football, and because we're Florida guys and Florida's on our station and a big Florida following, and I'm always going to do that. But I'm with the three of us, because none of us root for them. It's a serious question. What do you do if you're Florida State football? And we'll do that later in the program. But do you? You're gonna have to pay him. I think it's a commonly held perception among not just all of us, but everybody, that it's his last year or his last half year. You know what I mean?
I'd be shocked if he's.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty commonly. But what do you do if you're Florida State? I got a lot of notes on. I'm going to throw some ideas out. Just what I mean. Because I thought about this yesterday. And again, as a Florida fan, you want Florida State to struggle. They're the enemy. JJ is a Miami fan. You feel the same way. That's how we feel. But as a college football fan, it's just weird that they're in that much of a malaise.
And it's one thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and it's one thing if you're just underperforming. It's another thing. Like, they seem like they're like financially broke. Like, they are so far in debt.
Yeah,
there were some numbers that were reported today that were like staggering.
Yeah.
And they're so massively in debt.
Well, then 70% of the entire school debt is the athletic program.
Right, which
and I just
is just dumbfounding.
When Bowden's last few years at Florida State, they were down, and that same with Paterno at Penn State. That happens because you've got a guy that's been there forever, and his staff is older, and he's probably not as good a coach as he was. But that's to be expected. It wasn't a malaise. They just had to get through a very uncomfortable. The end of a long-term coach like that could be uncomfortable. We all know. We've seen it 1,000 times. So I'm watching it in baseball with Andrew McCutchen. Okay, he wants to come back. He's 39. He's not that great a player anymore, and it's a big topic with the Pirates. So when the Bowden thing happened, you knew it would be, but it didn't last very long. Yeah, it was clunky. They weren't very good at the end. They did the right. But
they were still going to bowl games.
They were correct. That's my point.
Yeah.
They were still going to bowl games. They got the right guy in there in Jimbo. Before you know it, they were a national power again, won a title. So they weren't stuck in this malaise. It was just a brief little hiccup, and they kind of came out of it. Even Florida, as down as Florida's been, it's just been a bunch of bad hires. And you could tell already once they get the right hire in there, the momentum comes back pretty quickly. Now, you could say that about Florida State. Maybe they fire Norvell and they hire whoever the hot guy is. But it just seems
I would just worry, like, financially, are they going to be equipped to go and get a really proven, established coach,
that's
or
part
are
of the
they going to have to go like to more of a plan C immediately because they can't really afford to? Although again, they at least entertained the idea of Lane Kiffin, and they had to know what that price tag was going to look like. So that's where it's so weird.
That's what makes me find it hard to believe that was serious.
Well,
but it was reported,
and they never push back on it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't do them any good for it to be out there. It just it just
hurts
reeks
the
of
relationship with Norvell.
Yeah, and it kills it makes your program just toxic across the board. So it is peculiar, but it seems like it's more financial based than anything else, and that's what's so really hard to predict where this goes, because are they still, once they buy out Norvell, are they going to be able to basically at that point the slate is clean and they're able to operate like a power would operate, or are they going to be like basically on a shoestring budget trying to fix their football program?
And that's what part of today's conversation will be, because it's a very interesting topic. We'll talk about that a little. Another thing in the news, the Belichick thing was bizarre and remains bizarre, and we talked about it ad nauseum on this program and others. The Robert Kraft not being in, whereas obviously if these other owners are in, he should be in. I didn't really care. That story didn't move the needle for me at all. Did it for you?
It did not. In fact, I didn't even put it in headlines because to me,
who cares?
Owners are. I mean,
it's a different world.
Yeah, to me, and if I was a voter, it would be hard for me to ever prioritize putting an owner in, unless it was just, I mean, I think if it was an owner that helped build the league, that'd be one thing. But, you know, and Kraft's obviously, he's had a marvelous run. It's not to slight him. And he probably does deserve to one day get in, but putting an owner in would not be high up on my priority list.
Yeah. So it didn't really move the needle for me at all either. So we'll certainly talk about all that coming up. We got a Duval County Scholar Athlete coming up in just a second. I'm looking forward to that. That comes up in a minute. And I just checked again to make sure. I didn't want to say this if I was wrong. There is a Super Bowl this week. There is a Super Bowl.
Any more excitement?
No juice for me at all. I'm trying. I watched the media sessions. I watched the Goodell presser. JJ, anything for you?
No, but I did find it hilarious that Goodell said the officials are doing an outstanding job.
He said he can't believe what a good job they're doing.
He's shocked at how great they are.
Good they are. So, I mean, that was fantastic.
God bless them, man.
But I do want to get into the games abroad. 9 games
including
abroad,
Australia
and Paris. You know, this year.
But Paris is like London, though.
Yeah, geographically, Paris doesn't change it all that much, and Australia does. And the 18-game schedule that he was very mum on. Did you notice that?
That I did get my attention.
Me too.
That did not seem to be anywhere close to a finish line.
Yeah, it shows what I know. I thought by 26 they'd be doing it. I was way off. I mean, he almost didn't talk about it. He didn't. It was weird.
He almost dismissed it like it was cartoonish to suggest they would ever do it.
It was really weird, wasn't it? Yeah. So we'll certainly talk about that. But there is a Super Bowl. Man, I'm trying to get there. And by the way, I also think this, and this will cost me a championship not that I was going to win anyway, because JJ's pretty much got it won. But JJ's obviously going to pick Seattle. I think Seattle's going to destroy it.
Do you?
You don't
see,
think
the closer we get, the more I'm like, this is a close game. But the Drake May injury makes me. I would never pick.
Yeah,
an underdog, especially with the quarterback.
The phrasing turned a corner with a shoulder injury.
I didn't know we had a corner to turn.
That's the thing. Yeah. I didn't know that a corner existed here.
And by the way, let me just say, I mean, we'd like to think that all Super Bowls are great games, and more have been good of late. But there's an awful lot of those 49ers, Chargers, Bears, Patriots.
When I was a kid, it was almost never a close game.
I mean,
in the 1980s, I bet you if you looked at that decade in terms of margin of victory, I bet you it was easily 14 points or maybe even more.
I think this one's going to be a stinker.
I think it could be.
I just got that feeling it is going to be. And you made a really good point yesterday. If you do kind of what we do, and that's try to assess what we saw when it's big in the news, you have to see all of it. You have to see the pregame. You have to watch the halftime. You got to watch the commercials because all of it is viral. All of it is
right.
talked about.
And I think even for regular people, because to Jay's, you don't want to be at work the next day and somebody's like, "Oh my God, did you see the Doritos commercial?" And it's like, "Oh no, I didn't." And because none of us watch commercials anymore.
Right,
I mean,
right.
if you're a sports fan,
you can watch it on your phone now. So you don't have to watch it.
Especially on a Sunday or a Saturday when there's multiple games on.
Yeah.
It's like instantly I'm mentally checked out.
But even if I'm locked in on one thing, I will routinely start the game like 20 minutes late, knowing by the time it gets to like the good stuff, and I kind of want to be on Twitter to kind of see what's out there.
I'm caught up.
I'll be live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good strategy.
That's always been your Gator basketball strategy.
Yeah,
right. You told me that.
I mean, if I'm watching it with like Jackson, then we'll be live. But if I'm just by myself, then if it's a 7 o'clock start, I'll start the game at like 7:20, 7:25, and fly right through it.
I don't do that with Gator basketball. I do it with Pirates because
it's easy for baseball.
Yeah, and
every pitch you tap the 10-second for a little bit, right there.
And I feel obligated to get in 150 a year because who doesn't want to get watch 150 times of a team that's going to lose 100 games? I mean, so I feel kind of obligated to do that.
Well, you guys now have Skeens and this phenom shortstop. So.
Yeah. So
World Series incoming.
I mean, at some point,
listen. If you think I'm not excited about jumping from 76 wins to like 80, you've lost your mind.
80 would be badass. That's a fun season.
We got a lot to talk about today on the program. I really do want to lean into the Florida State thing. I think we have a lot of Florida State listeners. I think Gator fans are interested in what's going to happen there. I think football fans in general. It's just one of the most odd circumstances I think I've seen.
And it's a great program.
Yeah, and
we all acknowledge that. It has so much potential. We've seen it.
It is the ultimate last 50 years blue blood. Now, if you're someone that thinks you can only be a blue blood if you were good 100 years ago, then maybe not. But if your definition of blue blood is anybody in the last 50 years, it's the ultimate. It's up there. Honest to God, it's up there with it's Notre Dame, Alabama, whoever.
If they'd had the 12-team play, even the 4-team playoff in the 1980s,
correct,
Florida State would have 7 or 8 national titles.
No question. So it's an interesting topic. Got a lot of things to get to today on the program. We'll certainly hit on that. And I got a thought about Gator basketball moving forward too. So I got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff planned today. Glad you're with us on this program. It's a Tuesday, always brought to you by my friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships. That's the Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue. That's Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. The best car dealership around. I've been their spokesman for as long as I've been in radio, and I'm proud of that. It's the best place to buy cars, I promise you, for my friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships. We'll take a break. We'll start it off with the Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It sure is great living in the golf capital of the world.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
1010XL, Jacksonville's golf station.
Geez, you love this golf stuff, huh? Oh, yeah.
Roses are red, Florida gets hotter, and your AC is about to ruin the mood. If your system barely survived last summer, now's the time to replace it before the real heat comes back swinging. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning makes it easy. No surprises, no runaround. And with our Sweetheart AC deals, get $750 off a new AC system when you install by March 15th. Fall in love with an AC that keeps it cool without the stress and call now for a free estimate. 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
Finding the perfect romantic gift she'll treasure forever? It's easier than you think at Beard's Diamonds this Valentine's Day. We've curated a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. At Beard's, we've got it all under one roof. And right now, we're cranking up the romance with an unbeatable limited time offer. Save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens that signature Beards box on February 14th. Pure magic that lasts a lifetime. Guys, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. And that gift is on major sale right now. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family owned and community strong for over 45 years. Right here in the St. John's Town Center. Not some Wall Street chain. We're your neighbors, and we're here for you. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Catch Decision Day for college sports future stars.
Here's a list of people I've been keeping my eye on.
Next Wednesday,
National Signing Day on 1010XL is covered by
Baker Glass and Flame Broiler on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
Best Bet is number one. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
Hey Jacksonville, Don here, the big cheese at Taco Lou. Well, everyone knows my wife Debbie is the real cheese at the Lou. We just do what we're told. We aren't a sports bar at all, but we have the best selection of the finest tequilas that Mexico has to offer, and that makes any basketball game more fun to watch. So come into Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach, where we love sports and we love tacos with our tequila. If you're looking for a crew to help with your fiestas at home or work, Taco Lou caters, bringing the tacos to you. Taco Lou in Jax Beach, where tacos and sports go hand in hand.
Ready to put your dream car in drive? Get solid rates for the road ahead when you finance with First Florida Credit Union. Enjoy competitive low rates, up to 90 days of no payments and budget-friendly protection plans. Whether you're buying a vehicle or refinancing, stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/autoloans. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit firstflorida.org/autoloans.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Hey, let's go!
And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
It is time for our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. It is Sienna Dansell from Fletcher High School. Hey, Sienna.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
You too.
Sienna is a soccer player and a terrific soccer player and a very good student at Fletcher High School. So tell me all about soccer. How long have you played and why is soccer special for you?
I started playing soccer when I was 4 years old. It's just always, it's ran in the family. My dad played soccer when I was like all growing up his whole life. He actually played at Fletcher too.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dad's in there smiling, so very cool.
Yeah. He played college soccer. But yeah, it's just ran in the family. Both my sisters play.
Very cool. Very cool.
What position do you play?
I play midfield and forward.
What would you say are the strengths of your game?
Probably switching the point of attack, getting it from one side to another. And then my junior year, I actually got the most assists. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Getting the offense revved up.
Getting the people to score the goals. Yeah.
And I know Hayes always likes to ask about the big game. What game stands out?
My junior year, probably the Gateway Championship game against Stanton. It was a big game. It was super fun because we scored, I think it was 5-2. So
so you blow them out. That's a blowout in soccer.
It's always more fun when you're scoring goals.
That's right. and winning,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
And winning.
Did you guys have a big senior class?
We did, yes.
What was that like coming, and having those bonds with your teammates that you kind of played with for so many years?
It was great. Like last year, it was probably all my best friends last year. But it was so fun. It was so fun.
Tell me about some of the things you're involved in away from school. The First Touch Soccer Academy. I want to know what that is. Tell me about that.
So I don't do it that much anymore, but last year I would go out on Friday nights and coach like little kids, play soccer. like ages like 4 or 5.
wow.
Like they're so cute. Like it was so fun.
Why is that rewarding for you?
It's because I did that when I was younger. Like that's where I started. So it's like fun seeing where I started and like where I am now.
Very cool.
Yeah. Where are you in the college process?
I plan on going to TSC for a year and transferring to FSU after. And hopefully graduating from there.
Talk about what you're going to study and what the plans are down the road. What do you hope to do?
I'm going to study business management. And after I graduate from college, I'm going to go to cosmetology school and hopefully run my own business. That's why I need that degree before I go to cosmetology.
I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. What would be your advice in terms of time management for younger kids listening?
Obviously it's hard being like a student athlete, but just balancing like this stuff and then also like your friends and stuff, like you have to have fun while you're also under all the stress. Like that's like just taking a break from all the stress definitely helps.
Well, very cool. Well, Sienna Dancel is our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. Very well deserved. So congratulations.
Thank
It's nice
you.
to meet you. Take care.
You too.
All right, Sienna Dancel is from Fletcher High School. She is our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week, a terrific soccer player and very good student at Fletcher High School. It's great to meet Sienna. We've met some really, really cool students this year, and it's great to see Sienna from Fletcher High School stop by. All right, lots of things to talk about today on the program. I'm going to get to the Super Bowl later, the matchup about it later, Roger Goodell's comments a little bit later. But I want to start with this Florida State thing. This is going to sound crazy, Hayes, because obviously financially, you saw the story today that how much money they've lost. We've all seen it. I get this. I think the pursuit of Lane Kiffin was real. To your point, when Mark Schlabach wrote that, nobody pushed back. Nobody said, whoa, we weren't after him. No, nobody.
And that's the kind of thing you explode over if it's not true. That's not one that you just say, we're not going to worry about that one.
Right. Nobody pushed back on that. So there's no belief, it doesn't appear, that didn't happen. So that means the money's there, whether it's private equity, whether it's different revenue streams and revenue sources that college athletics typically hasn't used. The money was there. I mean, the money they were going to have to pay him and buy out Norvell, it would have cost them more money to hire Kiffin than it would have anybody else. And yet they really believed they were about to do it. So the money's there. So somehow, and I'm not smart enough to know what those revenue streams are, but the money's there. So what do you do? I can't imagine, barring a 4-0, 5-0 start, I can't imagine, and certainly when you see what's on paper, it doesn't appear that's going to happen. I can't imagine you don't make a move really early with Mike Norvell. I guess that's where I'm going to go with this. I can't imagine that you don't strike pretty quickly when your coach is on the hottest seat in the country. By the way, when the hot seats come out, he'll be first, and there'll be a gap at 2, 3, and 4 till you get to 5. I mean, there'll be I don't care where you are, nobody's seat's going to match this seat. So I almost wonder, and Mike Norvell's made plenty of money. He's had plenty of chances. This isn't poor Mike Norvell, but I almost wonder if you do it in the first third of the season. You've seen teams do that. When you knew that, do you do it in the first, and do you announce to the world, enough's enough, we're tired of being down, we're Florida State, and you've got a right to feel that way because, like you said, if it's the last 50 years, there's not a school with bluer blood than FSU. Right now, we've had enough. This is step one of fixing it once and for all. I think I don't know if they start anything less than 3-1, 4-1. I don't know that I wouldn't do it in September.
I think it could easily happen that quickly because we saw this with the end of the Willie Taggart era. Remember, they fired Taggart pretty quick. He was like, I want to say, maybe halfway through year 3 when he got fired. And the reason, and they said it was, not only was it a belief that he wasn't going to be able to turn it around, it was also their attendance was terrible. And, that's like a lot of college town. I mean, that Tallahassee needs that revenue of Florida State being good, and Doak Campbell being packed, and people in hotels and spending money and driving in from around the area to enjoy Florida State football. And when that dries up, I mean, it crushes the school, but it also crushes the city in terms of its economy. So that was one of the big reasons that Taggart got it so fast, is the attendance really started to drop off. I mean, are they going to have 40,000 people at a game this season? I mean, I tip my hat to any Florida State fan that goes and watches them play this season, particularly once it does get ugly. Now, maybe once you fire Norvell, we saw a little bit with, it does seem like that once the coach is out, fans are a little bit more willing to go support the team overall because they know a change is coming. But, I mean, I shudder to think what their attendance numbers are going to look like. It hasn't been good for the last 2 years, obviously. And now you're asking people to invest weekends and thousands of dollars to go watch a team in which the product, I think, is going to be abysmal. It has been abysmal. I see nothing to suggest that this might be the worst roster that they've had of the previous 3 seasons, where they went 2-10 and whatever it was last year, 4-8. I mean, it's as dire straits as I think a massive college program could find itself in. And so, yeah, because of that, if they get off to a terrible start and you keep him all year, you may have some games where 20,000 people show up.
I honestly think if the money was there to hire Kiffin this year, what's still there, he didn't spend anything. So if you believe the theory that they were going to try and hire Lane Kiffin and in the process spend $50+ million to fire Mike Norvell, and I do believe it. Again, I don't know where the money was coming from, but I believe that was real. So the money's there. I don't know yet. I haven't seen the coaching. It's too early for next year's hot coaches, but I'm telling you, I would not wait. And if you sacrifice this season because there's all the distractions and you got an interim coach 4 games in, who cares? You've sacrificed enough seasons. Right now, either Ashton Daniels, who was no good at Auburn, Kevin Sperry, a freshman that couldn't beat out Thomas Castellanos, or Malachi Marshall, that's the JUCO guy, right?
Right, who doesn't get there until summer.
Right. That's your quarterback in a sport that's more quarterback-centric than it's ever been. And
with
it's always
no help around him.
Yeah, right.
That it appears to be.
Yeah,
they have a big-time receiver.
They got the running back.
And they got a running back transfer that they like.
Right,
but, I mean, their offensive – do you think Florida State has any kind of offensive line
And that's
at all?
the thing. See, here's the reality. Deuce Robinson, who's good. Danzy, who's really fast, are decent receivers. This Wisner kid that comes in from Texas is pretty good. Chroma's not bad. I don't think their skill's terrible. I think the quarterback, I think the quarterback play is not going to be very good at all. And to your point, I can't imagine that the line's very good.
And who's a difference maker on defense?
And if there is one, he's got to emerge because they don't have a returning one. That's kind of the point. So that's my point. If you're probably headed for 3 or 4 wins anyway, if you're probably headed if whatever 5 wins, if that's probably where you're headed, and you have to sacrifice a season, if you have to blow one up, this would be the year to do it. And with all due respect to the kids that are there now, and I just think if you have to do it, I would. And for all we know, Michael Alford might be ahead of it already. But I tell you,
I doubt that.
Well,
he doesn't seem to be very ahead of the curve on anything from an outsider's perspective.
But I would say right now, it would be the quickest trigger in college football history if it was me. And again, I don't mean that any disrespect to Mike Norvell, the current coach, but he's had his time now. He's had a time. He knows that. They know that. We all know that. He's going to be calling his own plays now because his offensive coordinator dropped a bomb on him in February. He quit on him in February. Ira Schofel wrote a terrific column today. I don't know if you saw it or not in War Chant. Ira does such a good job. And he said, it was interesting. He started by saying, listen, I don't have, in my years of being at Florida State, covering Florida State 20-plus years, gotten to know a lot of coaches really well, personal friends, people in the athletic department. You really become connected. Some we've stayed friends with. Some we certainly had conversations about stuff other than football. He said, the one I knew less than any coach I've ever covered was Gus Malzahn. He said he was as distant. He said, I'm not knocking him for it. He just never connected with anybody. And so nobody was surprised when he dropped the bomb and left yesterday. But I just think it's so dysfunctional. It's such a mess. Florida State, let me take my Gator hat off for a second and just be someone that covers college football. Florida State is supposed to be good. You don't have to be great. How many times, JJ, we say this about Miami? Miami's supposed to be good. Florida's supposed to be good. And maybe I'm being provincial because I live around here. Well, whatever. It's my opinion. And I think
it's one of the hotbeds of recruiting in America.
Correct. And
it should be good here.
And it's a very easy league compared to what you could be in.
And it's not only a hotbed of recruiting, JJ. It's proven that the
we've seen it.
Yes.
Like
and so
multiple times.
I mean, if you think about this, think about this for a second. Miami, between 1983 and whenever the most recent title from one of those teams were, I guess the FSU won in 15. Okay, was that the most recent?
13, right?
Yeah. So in that 30-year stretch, okay, from 1983 to 2013, they won 11 national titles between them. 11 of the 30,
and played in probably like 14 or 15,
and probably played in about half of them. And so that's proof that you can do it. So to that end, if I'm Florida State, I say enough's enough. And they didn't do it last. It's almost better they didn't do it last year because I think you made this point. There were so many open jobs. They were going to be down the list. They're going to be down the totem pole of who you get. So might as well keep your guys so you don't get the 7th best pick. But this year, if you get ahead of it, that's not your situation. Barring Alabama not out there looking, right?
Which could happen.
Which could. But barring Alabama not out there looking, barring Ohio, I mean, Clemson's not a better job.
No.
Clemson's not. I mean, so you could be the number 1 job open next year. You could be top of the list.
I wonder how the buyout works, though. Like, if their only reason for bringing him back is to save money this year.
Yeah.
I wonder if you fire him halfway through the season, if that costs you tens of millions. I have no idea.
But I hear you.
Florida went through this with Napier.
Okay.
And I don't know if the situations are identical. But every game Napier coached, the buyout went down.
Right.
So there was some thought of,
you're right.
So you probably won't do it after week 4.
Well, but
you could after week
7. But they might if their attendance really starts to drop.
And I'm operating on the premise that I started this with is if you had the money to go get Kiffin, you got the money to do it. Okay. And
I can't argue that.
Yeah. And so why not get ahead of it right now? And I don't mean just fire the coach. I mean fire the coach and shout from the mountaintops, enough's enough. This is Florida
We're calling
State.
everybody. We're calling Mike Tomlin.
That's right.
We're calling,
That's right.
Nick Saban.
That's
we're calling every great coach, and we're getting in October, and we are going to start this process immediately.
I mean, look what Vatek did. On a very lower level, Vatek fired their coach pretty early.
Correct.
Let it be known we're looking for a guy, and got at that time the biggest guy on the block.
And you know what?
With James Franklin, and that's going to completely change that program.
And by the way, that's a great point because number one, for Virginia Tech, they got a gigantic name. For Virginia Tech. And by the way, you know why it took them so long to nail down Franklin? I can tell you why. He was waiting on Florida
FSU.
State. I know people that can tell you he was waiting on Florida State. And only when it was clear Florida State wasn't hiring him did he take the Virginia Tech job. You said it best. We're calling Saban. That's the first thing we're going to call next day. We're going to call Urban Meyer. We're going to call Mike Tomlin. We're going to call all of them and send that message to your people. That's the one thing they haven't done. They haven't shouted from the mountaintops, enough's enough. And I think that's what Florida State should do. So we'll see. It'll certainly be an interesting offseason because I just reading all these stories and the debt and seeing who of all the players, Ashton Daniels is going to be their quarterback. And I'm just, what are they doing? So it's an interesting storyline. So we'll talk more about it as we move along. Let's take a break. Let's talk about some of the things that Roger Goodell said. That's after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Frangie here. Nimnicht Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnicht's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnichtchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnicht has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnicht. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to FloridaHomeAC.com/careers to find out more.
Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. People ask me all the time what's healthy, and that's hard because healthy is different from losing weight. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. There are a lot of foods out there that are healthy foods, but they're not going to support your weight loss. And that's what we're here to help with. We're here to help you get in the healthy foods that are going to help you lose weight. The Awaken 180 difference is our coaches. It's our team. You can find things online about weight loss, but you try them yourself and they just don't work. And that's because everyone is different. And that's what our coaches are so skilled at helping you figure out.
Thanks, Paige. Hacker here. Figuring it out, that's what I needed. And the reason I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Not a med, not a diet plan. I wanted a solution. Do what I did and make a 180 with your health and weight. Schedule your Awaken 180 consultation today. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality and a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is, a good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home, for a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool, or pets. Make sure you call Duval Fence today.
Leadership looks different on every woman, and every story deserves the spotlight. I'm Liz Grebe, the events director from the Jacksonville Business Journal. I would love for you to join us, PNC Bank, and our 2026 Women of Influence honorees for an unforgettable celebration honoring the women shaping our business community, opening doors, and lifting others along the way. Women of Influence, because powerful leadership deserves to be celebrated. Get your tickets now at jbjevents.com.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Dr. George Barry, your local orthopedic surgeon. In the wintertime here in Jacksonville, it does get pretty cold, and sometimes you wake up with aches and pains in your shoulders and knees. Don't forget to stretch and stay mobilized so these joints don't stiffen up. And if that doesn't work, you can see us at Barry Orthopedics, where we can give you the treatment that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Barry and the entire staff at BarryOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnicht Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941.
You want great American cars, you want Chevrolets, Buicks, you want GMCs, and you want it from the best company in town that have been doing it forever, boy. They know what they're doing. I can promise you that at Nimnick Chevrolet, at Nimnick Buick GMC. The Nimnick family's been doing this for a long time, and it's the family, man. It's the family runs this. There's Nimnicks on location. They make sure you're treated right, and I can promise you that. And nobody disagrees with that. Ask anybody that's bought a car from Nimnick. They'll tell you the same thing. Frangie Carline and JJ LaSelva with you. Roger Goodell, what jumped off the page when you saw his address? And the 18 games?
That was it, because I've felt like you have felt that we are close to that. 17 games just has always felt like
it's clunky.
It was just going
9
to be
home this year,
placeholder until they got to the final 18-game model with 2 preseason games. So I get it. The Players Union doesn't have a executive director right now, which does make it difficult because it does require conversations. The league can't just do it, and so I understand that. But the way Goodell went about it, seemed more than just a vacuum of leadership on the player side that has slowed it down. He almost made it sound like, why would you even suggest that we've ever thought about this, which I thought was preposterous, and that they really it's not of an issue for the league that they have on the front burner, which is astonishing as well, because all this league cares about is making $1 more than they made last year, and that's I'm not faulting them for that, but that is how it is. That's they're a business, and because of that, the 18th game would create so much revenue for them. I mean, we're seeing a salary cap. If the number comes in at $305 million, which is what the league has told the teams to roughly expect it to be, you're talking about a salary cap that's gone up $100 million in the last 6 years. I mean, it's preposterous. So they know that adding the 18th regular season game from a TV standpoint is going to create monumental revenue for all the clubs and all the players. And, and he talked about the scheduling and, from a competitive standpoint, do we do a second bye? How hard is it to do 2 bye weeks?
We do in college football with 12 games.
Is there a single fan that cares about the NFL that would be like, boy, I don't like these 2 bye weeks? I mean, you absolutely would take on an extra bye week for another game of meaning. And again, he talked about the injury factor. Well, the injuries have stabilized. I mean, they've figured out ways to, certainly limit. ACL tears are down. Achilles tendon tears went up. But that almost seems like we've talked about that's an epidemic across sports in general for whatever reason. But concussions are down. The kickoff rule has greatly enhanced the play, but also eliminate a lot of the injuries that came with covering a kickoff and returning a kickoff. So it just seemed puzzling. His tone of it seemed puzzling, like that it's way far off, which I really was surprised by. I thought the 18th game was coming and coming soon. And, based off of his comments yesterday, I do not feel that way at all now.
I don't either. So 2 thoughts. Number one, maybe they lean so into the international series. 9 games, to the point JJ made earlier. They're playing in Australia this year. Somebody's going to play the Rams in Australia. They're playing in France. The Browns and the Saints are there. They're playing again in Brazil. They're playing in Germany. They're playing in Mexico. They're playing in Spain. And, of course, obviously the England games. There's so many games. It's almost like you can only lean into so many things. And maybe that emphasis, making this work, you don't just do this overnight. It takes an awful lot of work and to go to all these countries and set up all these stadiums and all the marketing and the plan and the travel. It's a lot of work to lean into all this, and maybe that just took precedent over expanding the schedule. I think that's part of it. The other thing I wonder about is this. Is it possible that they are going to do it sooner rather than later, but that the last thing the commissioner wanted was more talk about it? so he downplayed it and then springs it on everybody? No, I don't think that. I think what you think, that the indication is that's not what's happening. But it did make me wonder.
He is the most genius politicker in sports.
Well, and I almost wonder if you downplay it now, if you stay away from it now, you don't have all the pushback before it happens. You just downplay it, and boom, it's sprung on you. Wouldn't shock. I don't think that's where it's headed, but it wouldn't shock me.
No, I actually think you're on the right track because I agree with you guys. I think it's a bit of a negotiating ploy for when the Players Association does have a new leader. If Goodell talks yesterday and he says, you know, hey, we really want to go to this 18th game as soon as possible. Really looking forward to having conversations with the new union head. Well, then the new union head knows coming into it, this is a big priority for the league. Like, we need to really...
We can fight them on that.
We need to get the best possible deal. Maximize the money on it. So that certainly could be in play, that he's trying to make it sound like, you know what, we're not really all that hot for the 18th game anymore.
And then
and then maybe when there is a new leader, it's doesn't come across as that they're as desperate for it. I think it's a facade, because how could you possibly not want it if you're an owner? And Goodell works for the owners. How could you possibly not want the massive revenue that is going to come with expanding the regular season and shortening the preseason and that no one likes?
And Goodell, and that was the point he's always made before. He's always at these media opportunities, he's always said, look, nobody likes the preseason. He's gone out of his way to say everybody knows nobody enjoys the preseason. Well, he didn't say it this time. So that's really been his way of saying. And by the way, I will say this: as any observer, it's way better if 18-2. It'd be way better. You'd have by the way, for the players, you get paid more. You get a second bye week. Everybody acknowledges there would then be a second bye week. The training camp probably isn't as long.
Right. OTAs probably get eliminated.
OTAs probably go away. So for the players, it's probably better. So I was surprised by it as well. That's of all the things he said, that and the international series growing the way it has jumped off the page the most. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great, great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Get the real story from people who know the beautiful game best. The Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks with Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Ballum. Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 AM. There's joy in every RV journey. Your journey starts at the Jacksonville RV Mega Show, Thursday, February 5th through Sunday the 8th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths. Adults $10, kids under 12 free. Seniors get $1 off Thursday. Military and first responders get $1 off every day. Thursday through Saturday from 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. The Jacksonville RV Mega Show at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
It's Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you to stay ahead of prostate, bladder, and kidney health. Get a yearly checkup, ask about a screening, and make self-checks a habit. To make an appointment at one of 4 locations, visit ackermanurology.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frank Frangie and JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Let's start with the Jaguars. 1 year ago today, Tony Baselli named Jaguars Executive Vice President of Football Operations. I'd say that was a pretty good move by Shad Khan.
Think they got that one right? You think they got it right? I didn't realize it was 1 year ago today. But yeah, and I'll give both of them credit. Tony wanted that job for a while. Shad entertained it for a while. They had numerous conversations in prior years about let's get this right when the time was right. And they got it right. And I agree with you. And I really do believe this, Hayes. I think Tony's presence, there's a toughness, there's an orneriness to him. And I think you saw that in the team. He's also a really bright guy. He's a very, very common sense thinker.
And he works.
And he's a hard worker. There's no question. But he's a really smart guy. And apart from all the other, he knows what he's doing. He's smart, but he doesn't overthink. So Tony's a smart guy. And by bringing in James Gladstone, just like him, a very smart guy too. So you're right. That was the day things changed for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're headed in that direction. They've been headed in that positive direction ever since.
Let's get to around the NFL. The Titans hire Gus Bradley as defensive coordinator. We're obviously big fans of Gus as a person. How do you think he'll do as the Titans defensive coordinator under Robert Saleh?
I think he's a good coach, and I think Gus and I are friends. We've all been friends with Gus for a long time. Gus is a good man, and he and Saleh are really close. They've been together here. They were just together in San Francisco.
Yeah, here he was Saleh's boss.
Correct. And so they've been very close. I think Saleh and Gus and Dayball will do a good job. Talking about a team that is the chief rival, I don't love where that landed. And if I was a Titans fan, I would kind of like where it all landed. I really would. So So, yeah, I think that grouping will be good. What do you think? I think that grouping will do well.
I think it'll be interesting to see what Borgonzi does in terms of the talent on the club. And
I think he's good. I think he's good.
I agree. But they have a lot of work to do. Gus Bradley, you think he's going to enjoy Jeffrey Simmons?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be one of the best players Gus Bradley's probably ever coached.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons is if he's not Aaron Donald, and he's not because probably nobody is, he's the closest in terms of playing style. He's the closest thing this league, more than Chris Jones. Chris Jones is bigger, longer. He's the closest thing to Aaron Donald in playing style that we've seen. He really is.
If Jeffrey Simmons didn't play in Nashville,
right,
he'd be one of the biggest stars in the NFL.
Agreed.
If he played for a team that had won it recently. But obviously the Titans have really struggled over the last few years. Drake May says he turned a corner with his shoulder injury. Yikes. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I didn't know that he had a corner he needed to turn. And so, it looks like the injury's real. He's going to play. He may play hurt a little bit. I may be so far off, but I think the Seahawks are going to wallop them. I think, listen, give the Patriots credit. They got there. They're really well coached. He's a really good young quarterback. But they caught some breaks along the way, the schedule playing the way it did, and Bo Nick's not in the championship game, and just a lot of things really fell in their favor. And I'm not shortchanging them, but I think that's all true. And I think the Seahawks are the best team in football and proved it time and again. I think either the Rams or the Seahawks would have put a number on the Patriots. We'll see. I'll say that, and then they'll lose, and I'll be the biggest dummy in town, but it is what I think.
We always enjoy catching up with Pete Prisco on Friday. Last Friday, he told us to expect his Super Bowl rankings, which are always a lot of fun. He does that every Super Bowl where he ranks the best players in the game. So it's out, and we'll certainly talk to Pete about it this Friday, but he has 7 of the top 10 players in this Super Bowl play for the Seattle Seahawks.
And I would think they will. I would think that. I would think, again, what's the line? I don't even know what the number is.
I think it's
4.5
under a touchdown, right?
4.5.
Oh, yeah, way under.
Yeah.
But
I would like that.
Boy,
I
would
would
too.
take Seattle and give 4.5 all day long.
I'm not much of a bettor, but boy, I would too. So yeah, that list, Pete's list doesn't surprise me at all.
I know it doesn't matter because the games are just so different teams and everything, but the the favorites in the Super Bowl recently, never cover.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think that
I didn't
trend
know that
may
either.
change Sunday, but we will see. Let's get to college basketball. Florida forward Alex Condon wins SEC Player of the Week honors for the 4th time in his career. The junior scored a combined 35 points with 16 rebounds and 14 assists in wins over South Carolina and Alabama. So funny enough, Florida has one player in Ruben Chinlilu, who was the Naismith National Player of the Week.
Right.
And then they have another player who was SEC Player of the Week.
And the third guy in the front line is the best of the 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Might be a first-team All-American.
Really, it's really amazing the group they've put together. We're going to talk about it at the top of the hour, but it's really amazing the group he's put together. No surprise. And I'm happy for Condon. Again, all the talk was, look how Chinyalu's improved. Look at what a lottery pick Houck's become, and Condon needs to stop shooting threes. Well, Condon's a lot more than the guy that was missing those threes, a lot more than the guy that scored 1 point against Auburn, and I'm glad he bounced back. He's a good player.
Interesting that he's won this 4 times.
It is.
That's quite an accomplishment.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's get it to the NBA. Walter Clayton Jr., part of a huge trade today, which sends him to Memphis. The big piece of the trade is Memphis sending star Jaren Jackson to Utah. But obviously, Walter Clayton Jr. led the Gators to a national title and is one of our favorite players of all time. Clayton was averaging 6.8 points per game in 18 minutes per game with the Jazz.
I wonder what he will become. You're right. Jaren Jackson is the star of that trade. That's why it's all over SportsCenter and the websites. But for our purposes, Walter Clayton Jr. is what's of interest to us because I thought he would be in Utah for a while. Next thing you know, he's in Memphis. I wonder what kind of pro he will have been when it's over. Florida's had an awful lot of guys that are good players, but for whatever reason, you don't hear a lot about him. Bradley Beal's a terrific player, but he's always been on a lousy team. Al Horford's a very good player that's been more of a role player. Mike Miller was on a lot of teams. I wonder what kind of player Walter Clayton, because I'm the biggest fan. I think he's the best player in Florida history. I think he's marvelously skilled, and I look forward to getting to see him in some NBA games.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get more minutes, and at least he's on.
He definitely will now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the Jazz suck, but it looks like the Grizzlies they're tanking. Like, they got rid of Jaren Jackson because they're going to blow it up, and they might trade Jaw, so I assume he's going to be playing a lot more this.
And at least he's playing games more like around 7 o'clock and not 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, if you are curious, it'll probably be easier to keep up with him. I don't know how often Memphis is on TV if you don't have like the NBA package, but regardless, hopefully Walter Clayton Jr. will have a great career in Memphis. Let's get it to the PGA Tour. Scotty Scheffler, Brooks Koepka competing at the Waste Management Phoenix Open this week.
Wouldn't that be fun? How about not? You think anybody would be yelling at him on 16? That pairing? You think?
Well, they're not. I'm sorry. They're in the field.
Okay.
I don't think we know the pairings yet.
You think anybody would be yelling at Brooks on 16?
I mean, I hope it's in good form and faith.
Well, it's going to be a bunch of drunks in the good form and bad form and medium form is what it's going to be.
It will be rowdy.
I know what
sure.
You're saying. Hope people welcome Brooks. I do too. But my point is, whether they're for him or against him, he'll be one of the most recognizable guys who hadn't been there in a while, and it's the rowdiest crowd on tour. That's the point.
Yeah, that's their identity. So it should be an interesting watch. Xander Schauffele, Jordan Spieth, another couple notables that are in the field this week. The LIV Tour now receives World Golf ranking points, but there are significant limitations. Only the top 10 finishers in LIV events, because they only have 57 players and they don't cut. So only the top 10 finishers will get World Golf ranking points, and the number is greatly reduced from what a PGA Tour player would receive. So yes, they're going to get World Golf ranking points, but it's still going to be awfully tough to make any sort of hay against the stars of the real tour.
Yeah, who cares? I find myself caring less and less about put on some long pants and call me.
Let's get it to the Olympics. I don't know if you guys have watched this yet, but it is phenomenal. Netflix has a documentary called Miracle, The Boys of 80, about obviously the amazing gold medal winning hockey team. It is brilliant. We watched it last night. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. It is sensational. There is stuff. I love the movie Miracle that came out like 20 years ago with Kurt Russell playing Herb Brooks. There is stuff about the games and stuff about their backgrounds. It is a jewel. So if
I will watch it.
You got to watch it. It is phenomenal. Again, the Miracle, The Boys of 80 on Netflix. 5 stars out of 5 stars.
I'm guessing our boy Al makes an appearance.
He does, and he's great. And to see him, it's so funny to see him, that night because he just looks like a baby. But he's interviewed. I mean, it's got everybody you would want.
They
talk to everybody.
I can't wait to watch it. I did not know about that, but we will watch it because JJ, you weren't around, but I mean, and you were awfully young, Hayes, but people my age all remember the moment, not just the story of it, but the moment. And to your point a minute ago, who didn't love the movie? I mean, the movie was. It was. God bless Kurt Russell in that movie.
Awesome,
he was just fantastic in the movie.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You'll really enjoy it. Lindsey Vonn has a torn ACL, but the 41-year-old star is still competing while wearing a knee brace.
Yeah. You hear that, Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, exactly. Her first race is Sunday. I will be cheering loudly for Lindsey Vonn, obviously taking a massive risk, but she knows it's her last go at 41. What a amazing! I mean, talk about guts.
What'd she say? If you're not willing to take a risk, downhill's not for you.
Yeah.
By the way, I love it. I love it, and this will make everybody watch. I mean, God bless.
Imagine finishing behind her.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
God.
Imagine if she medals. It'll be the story of the game.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, to your point, it's one of the stories of the game that she's going to try.
Right.
So imagine it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Let's get it to walk-off. Give us an update. Big week at the at Ford Family Park.
Yes, this is we have kicked off our ninth annual Walk-Off Charities High School Baseball Classic. All the revenues go to Walk-Off Charities. They help us play. We had a really good gate last night. Tonight, there's games at two places, Atlantic Coast and the Bregan Baseball Complex at Fort Family. 4 more games today, then 2 games every day, then 4 championship games on Saturday, and the crowd was fantastic last night, Hayes, and it was a really good crowd. It was cold as heck, but they didn't care. It was great baseball, and 16 high school baseball teams from the area. Actually, 15 from the area, 1 from Deltona, but 16 high school baseball teams from the area are around. Battling it out, and then next week we're going to do it again with softball. 16 softball teams. So and it's a real important fundraiser for walk off and helping little kids play baseball. It's just a great week. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you asking.
Sure thing. Fantastic. We will get you guys out on our musical note of the day. On this date, back in 1978, Jerry Rafferty releases Baker Street. Rafferty was a founding member of Steelers Wheel, which produced the 1973 hit Stuck in the Middle with You.
Correct.
Featured prominently in the Quentin Tarantino classic Reservoir Dogs. Rafferty died in 2011. The unforgettable saxophone riff in Baker Street is played by Raphael Ravenscroft. The song peaked at number 2 on the Billboard charts.
This is a great job. This is a great song. And I can promise you next year, for my 12th straight trip to London, I will tweet out a picture of the Baker Street sign because I feel like that's my obligation. So you can imagine I will do that, and there will be some of these lines from the song, and about 90% of people go, really? But the other 10% will appreciate it.
Absolutely.
There is that. You know what? You know who I do it for? The 10%.
That's right.
Great job as always.
Thank you.
Let's talk some Gator basketball and where it might be headed after this.
So many people, but it's got no soul and it's
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
They sacrifice so much. Hey, I never finished college, and look how I turned out. What's up? To bring you so little.
Oh, easy. What's with the personal attacks?
And they do it every day. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser are The Drill. Mornings on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
The biggest game on the planet. Such a big game, we're not even allowed to say its name. The Superbowl. It's the biggest game of the year, and 1010XL will show you every angle. Coverage is brought to you by Window World of Northeast Florida and Holland Sons Plumbing.
Gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Because this message is for you. ET here on behalf of Blue Chew. And when it's all on the line, and when the moment counts, make sure that when you shoot, you don't miss. And Blue Chew tablets got you covered. Blue Chew provides access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at a high level with stronger results and longer lasting performance. With a simple, discreet process so you don't have to worry about the nosy neighbors because they're in everybody's business. No waiting rooms, no awkward appointments. Just fast-acting chewables delivered straight to your doorstep. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. Just pay $5 in shipping. Just use promo code 1010XL at checkout and cover them $5 for shipping again. That's promo code 1010XL and your first month of Blue Chew is on me. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Then just chew it and do it.
Hayes Carline here. The big game is coming up, and no game day party is complete without Daisy French onion dip and ranch dip. Great tasting, delicious Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch onion dip is a must for any party you are throwing or attending. I will have mine. I can guarantee you friends are going to think you made it from scratch. I enjoy Daisy dips with chips, wings, and veggies. Look for Daisy French onion dip and ranch dip at a grocery store near you.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order Logo coffee mugs, or maybe a Logo Stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with Window World, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, Window World and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with Window World, and to top it off, Window World windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with Window World. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Baker Glass. The Orlando Magic are back in action tonight, taking on the defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder on the road. Gators basketball is off for the rest of the week, but return to action this Saturday when they take on Texas A&M on the road, tipping off at 8:30. It's 62 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
And we thank our friends from the Nimnik family of dealerships. Nimnik Chevrolet is on Cassett Avenue. Nimnik Buick GMC located on Phillips Highway. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you as we continue along. All right, so Florida's basketball team is now back in the national conversation. Started the season in that conversation as the defending champion. Lost some close games to good teams, UConn and Duke in Arizona. Lost one to a mediocre team in TCU. Weren't so sure. Started the SEC season with a loss to Missouri. Got a little momentum going. Lost to Auburn. People kind of had lost some confidence. I think we were all saying Sweet 16 team maybe. Then out of nowhere, they beat South Carolina by 50 and bury Alabama. And as we all anticipated, Hayes, beat Alabama with everybody watching. An ABC game. Dick Vitale there. Jimmy Dykes and Ravi there. And one of the few ABC games on a Sunday when there's no football at 1 o'clock in the 1 o'clock window. And boom, 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 boom. And everybody expects Florida's going to be a national contender. I want to get to something further, but that's how you see it too, right? That now has become the conversation.
I think so. I mean, it's going to be hard for Florida to get I think a 1 seed is out. I think it's going to be awfully hard for Florida to get a 2 seed as well. So I think the best case scenario is for Florida to get a 3 seed, which, look, they won their first national title as a 3 seed. And so it certainly can happen. But you look at, yes, Florida is a national title contender. The problem is this might be as loaded a group of teams that can win it. There's probably 10, 11 teams that right now can win the national title. That's how well they're playing. I mean, you look at this was stunning to me. You look at the top 5 teams in the country right now in the net. They have 5 combined losses. The top 5 teams have 5 combined losses. Florida has 6.
Right.
So I think it's going to be awfully hard. But yes, Florida is certainly among a bigger group than normal, I'd say, of teams that can win the whole thing.
And they've gained momentum in the eyes of the observers. So having said that's the narrative. Let's say they either win it again, and then you've got everybody's attention, or get to the Final Four. So they're back-to-back Final Fours, including 1 title.
Dynasty in the making.
Well, that's my question. Can they listen? Billy Donovan had a dynasty, but then there were some down years too. He was one of the best college basketball coaches of all time. I mean, he won back-to-back titles in 06, 07. He went to 4 Final Fours. He went to I think 8 Elite Eights or 7 Elite Eights. He's in the Hall of Fame. And Florida was right there on the cusp of when you said Kentucky and Kansas and Duke and North Carolina. in Arizona and Florida, they were you kind of had to squeeze them in with Arizona, right? They were with Arizona as the sixth and maybe the fifth and sixth teams thereabouts, and then fell off because Billy left, and then they became kind of ordinary. The truth is, under Mike White and even the first year or two under Golden, can they become the fifth major? If it's Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, and North Carolina are the four majors, can they? UCLA was the fifth major for the longest time. Arizona was the fifth major for the longest time. Way back in the day, Indiana was the fifth major. Can Florida become that in your opinion?
Did you say UConn?
I should have said UConn. All right, the sixth major. But you know my point. Can they be mentioned? Because I didn't say UConn. I said Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina. UConn certainly that should be right there. But can they be there? Regardless
they
of what
can
the number
be viewed
is?
as a program where
Every
every year Florida might win the national title.
Right, because with UConn and Duke and North Carolina, but you're surprised, you're roundly surprised if they're not a Sweet 16 team. I mean, if they're not a Sweet 16 team, what the hell, right?
Right.
So
because normally they just have that you get a freebie with your first game normally because they're always high seeds.
So you just
and
gotta
then your second game is like you got to beat a team that's like 35th and
that's right.
the rankings.
So you're roundly surprised then, and you're even a little bit surprised if they get beat in the round of 16. Okay, and what would it take for Florida to be? Because you think Florida can get there under Todd Golden. I do too. I don't know Golden well enough yet to know what his plan is. Okay, the Coach K's plan was to never leave. Roy Williams' plan was to only leave Kansas for North Carolina and then to never leave. Tom Izzo's plan was to never leave. Danny Hurley, I thought, would wind up with the Lakers, but now I start to think he might be a never leave. Bill Self's plan is to never leave. I'm not sure I know Todd Golden's plan yet. He's still new enough. He might not know his plan yet.
I can't imagine Todd Golden won't draw massive NBA interest over this, over the years if this continues, because he routinely outcoaches everybody that he sees. I mean, I go back to last year in the Texas Tech game that they had no business winning, and he starts fouling deliberately with like 3 minutes left. Single-handedly, that decision digs Florida out of a 12-point hole, and they somehow beat Texas Tech in stunning fashion. And that's just one example. I mean, you look at offensively, how often do they get stagnant in a game? Very rarely. Very rarely do you see that graphic pop up where it's Florida has not hit a field goal in the last 4 minutes and 38 seconds of this game.
Right.
You don't ever see that with a Todd Golden team. Now he's built a great staff. Carlin Hartman deserves a ton of credit for his work with the bigs and defensively. I think that's probably more Hartman maybe than Golden, but his offensive system is so sophisticated, and obviously he knows how to build a roster. He knows how to identify talent, guys that aren't necessarily massive stars. He's able to see something in them and develop that. I don't know. I don't follow the NBA, but I can't imagine that one of the 30 NBA teams, if this continues, is not going to throw Todd Golden a ton of money to go to the NBA.
Now, having said that, JJ, you follow it closer than we do. College coaches have failed mightily, though, at the next level, haven't they?
They just don't even they don't even hire him. It's hard to say they even fail. They don't even hire him anymore.
But there was a stretch where Pitino and Calipari and Leonard Hamilton and Lon Kruger and Mike Montgomery.
Yeah,
it's
been a while,
but they all failed.
Yeah,
I mean Pitino, Calipari, Mike Montgomery, Leonard Hamilton, Lon Kruger, 2 or 3 others failed miserably. They went and got their money and got set for life. Back then.
Even Billy Donovan's been, I'd say, mediocre
at best.
Wouldn't you say? The NBA.
Yeah, they've not done.
The former Celtics coach, I can't think of his name from Baylor. He did really good.
And that's how I think the NBA is going to view Golden.
Younger guy.
Is that Brad Stevens' mind? So, I mean, look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the NBA looks at Todd Golden like the NFL looks at Kirby Smart, where they don't look at him. No one ever mentions Kirby Smart as an NFL head coach because they believe it's all recruiting. They don't think he's a great X's and O's mind.
But
Todd Golden is.
Yeah.
But I don't know that, again, because
he plays
of what
an NBA style of basketball.
Well, but the NFL now has kind of gone where the NBA is. Just hiring all the assistants, hire the hot assistant.
You work for McVay.
Yeah, that's right. And so I now find myself thinking the NBA, and again, following it from afar as I do, the NBA seems far more reluctant now than they've been to go going and getting a college guy. They just don't seem like they want to do it. And so let's assume now, we're going along here, but stay with me. Let's assume for a second that the NBA isn't going to go get college guys for a while. Because it's been a while, okay? Does he leave for another college job? Does he, again, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Kansas, wherever, UConn, does Todd Golden bolt? Because I don't think Billy Donovan ever would have. He was going to go to the NBA. So my point is, Todd Golden might be the Florida coach for 25 more years.
Well, if that happens, then it will be a dynasty.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
You would think. It's hard.
I mean, I don't know how many titles because that's hard to predict.
But yeah.
He's already got one.
Right.
But in terms of stuff that is a little bit
Final
easier
Fours,
to predict,
Elite
Final
Eights.
Fours, and SEC titles, there would be a lot of those.
Because he really today's guy, who has to be, let's be honest, unless you're Duke, North Carolina, and maybe UConn, you better be damn good, or Kansas, you better be damn good in the portal, because 3 or 4 schools are getting all the 5-star All-Americans, right? There's all the McDonald's guys are going to about 4 or 5 schools. So if you're not them, you better be good at the portal. And Golden's already proven he can do that. And he also can find the international guys, which he said from day one was going to be one of his goals. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun
Wait
to watch.
until he's got Olivier Ryu shooting threes next year, averaging 37 points a game and 19 rebounds and 7 blocks.
Let me say this about Olivier Ryu. Nice job on the name. Let me just say this. That's the first time I've ever seen him do anything productive in a basketball game. He looked like he
did he get into the South Carolina game?
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. And he had a nice pass to Milicic, who got fouled and went to the line. So he could have had an assist against the Gamecocks, and then he did score against Bama.
The best thing
he played against Bama.
And scored. He scored the last 2 points.
Disrespect.
When Florida's up 30, here comes the 7'9" kid.
He scored points 99 and 100. But the funny thing was, if you watched it, it was a tip in.
He didn't
jump, and his hand was over the rim. I mean, it was the easiest tip in of all. The tip in looked like if one of us were playing on a 5-foot basket with little kids, you just tipped it in.
I used to think it looked weird, but now I watch Wemby every night, and it's like, it's just.
I mean, this kid is not even like a starving.
That's what I'm saying. Wemby's like dribbling down the court and shooting threes.
Now let me stop you for a second here. You're telling me, hey,
now with an off season, one more off season with Golden,
you're telling me
maybe he does become Wemby.
You're telling me Wemby's more skilled than Ryu.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
I don't know that I'm coming with you on that. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Rule number 1, no soft coverage in the hall.
Rule number 2, from now on, debates require helmets.
Rule number 3, intercept my lunch and you're benched.
They got game. Helmets and heels. Weekdays 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient. The only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles there since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities and all we're trying to do to give underprivileged kids a chance to play baseball. Treating you right. Giving the most back to the community. More choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. Visit the showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com. Remember again, who does it best? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Some plumbing companies say they're local, right up until you realize their headquarters are in New York City. At Hall & Sons Plumbing, we're actually from here. Born, raised, and fixing leaks right here in Jacksonville. Hall & Sons Plumbing. Local. Family. Real.
Get hit by the man in the back, Tommy Mack.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads.
Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros!
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an iCar Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
I'm Carl. I'm 68 years old, and I lost 40 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. And looking at pictures, I realized that my color wasn't good. I looked bloated, constantly tired, out of breath. It got to the point where I decided it was time to pick up the phone and call Awaken 180. The combination of the diet and the coaching really pushed me over the top. My self-confidence soared. I'm walking, I'm working out. Instead of 68, I feel like I'm 28. I just had my annual physical, and my doctor looked at my blood pressure and he said, "What did you do? What happened?" And I explained that I'm on the Awaken 180 program. I've never felt so good in my life. And as somebody that sometimes likes to take the shortcut, I didn't have to do that with this program. Awaken 180 is my solution for weight loss.
Carl's solution for weight loss. My daughter Amber's solution for weight loss. Lowered blood pressure, increased confidence, feeling years younger. Not a temporary fix, a solution. Want the same results? Then choose Awaken 180 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We sure thank our friends at the Nimnick family dealership. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Casted Avenue. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. I've told you this before. Been buying my cars there since 1982. I got out of college. Needed to buy a car. Had a little bit of money, not a lot. Had no idea how to do it. My friend Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul, showed me how to do it and kind of walked me through the process, how to get financing. I didn't know any of that stuff. And he was the best and showed me how to do it. And I was very excited about it. I've been buying cars there ever since. And they still treat you that same way, man. It is a great place to buy cars. And I'm very proud to be the spokesman for the Nimnick family of dealerships. I can certainly tell you that. All right, give me a key to this. Give me at least a Tuesday key to the Super Bowl. What do the Patriots do to win, since we all think they're going to get blown out?
I think they've got to contain Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, if you could tell Mike Vrabel now 6 catches for 70 yards, no touchdowns, he'd do cartwheels to get that. So, and they've got, look, the Patriots have Christian Gonzalez, who's an excellent corner. I don't know how they'll deploy him, whether it's just you double Smith and Jigba and put Gonzalez, on the other side, or you have Gonzalez, follow Smith and Jigba. So that'll be really interesting to see how Vrabel elects to handle that. But it starts there. And I will say Jackson Smith and Jigba I thought would be good at the NFL level. I didn't think he'd become the best receiver in the NFL, which is what that is the year he has had, and there's no one even close. I love Puka Nacua, but he's been in and out of the lineup. He's had some injuries. But I don't think there's been a receiver consistently from week 1 until the Super Bowl that every week has just dominated the game. And so it starts there. If they can slow down Smith and Jigba, then I think it can start to get frustrating for Seattle because I don't think they have a lot of great other weapons. And if you can get Darnold to where he's got to look away from him, then perhaps Darnold will throw the football to the Patriots.
Yeah, and look, as much as I feel like I'm giving them no chance, they are 17-3. I mean, they've to win 17 National Football League games is something. Drake May completed 72% of his passes. In the regular year, he threw 31 touchdowns and 8 picks. He's really good. I mean, Drake May is like really good
And a great runner.
Yeah, and right. He's a very athletic guy. He's today's quarterback,
Which could alleviate a lot of Seattle's rush.
Yeah, so it's not like Seattle's great and they had to pick some also ran team to come play him. He's a good player. You made a good point about Ramondre Stevenson. He's kind of a journeyman. He's not a guy that everyone was excited about. Travion Henderson, not Ramondre Stevenson. But he's been an important cog for them. To your point, you made that point a couple weeks ago, and you're dead on. So they've got good players. They've got Mike Vrabel coaching their defense. Christian Gonzalez is an elite cornerback. They've got good players. So maybe
and Sam Darnold's good for a turnover.
And he
literally led the league in turnovers. He had 20 this year.
Yeah, Sam Darnold at times can be bad. As good as he is, it sounds crazy. As good as he can be bad. So I just feel like the overall physicality. So for me, I think you hit it. Don't let Jackson Smith and Jigba just beat you. Just take over the game because that's what he does. And yeah, you're right. He's the best receiver in the league. Justin Jefferson did not have the season that Jackson Smith and Jigba did. He's the best receiver in the league. So number one, I think that's it. I do think this. I do think if Drake May, because Darnold's been around. He's 29, but he's been around. I mean, he's been. I mean. By the way, what are the Vikings thinking now? I wonder.
Well, they fired their GM,
so they're thinking they made a mistake.
Yeah, but I mean, my goodness, what a dumb move that was. Yeah, good point. I guess they just told you what they're thinking. But if Drake May if the moment's not too big. Now, look, he's proven most moments are not too big for him, but he hasn't played one of these yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't. This is a different world. If he can prove the moment, I think the most important thing for me, if I'm rooting for the Patriots, I don't care who wins, by the way, but if I was rooting for the Patriots and I was a Patriots fan, I think the most important thing for me, get into that second quarter, midway second quarter, and he doesn't look rattled. And again, the indication, the evidence is that he's not going to look rattled. I mean, he's not. But get into that stretch where he doesn't look rattled, where the moment doesn't seem too big for him. And then if you can play him even a little bit, then you might have a pretty good second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think a big X factor for New England is Pop Douglas, who obviously is from Jacksonville, but he had a brilliant touchdown catch in the playoffs, kind of going across the middle, beat the blitz. And he's somebody that if you're Seattle, he's not going to be the forefront of your focus. And his numbers this year were fairly pedestrian. But he's somebody that tends to rise up in their bigger games. So in terms of guys that can handle the moment, Jacksonville's Demario Douglas, Pop Douglas, appears to be a young player. He's still a very young player. He's only his second year.
Caught pass from Carson Beck.
Right.
I mean, he was Carson Beck's receiver.
But he has shown the ability to burn a defense at a critical time, and he has been clutch. So
good point.
He is an X factor, somebody to watch out for, and he's also a local kid, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is. So again, what we all want is a good game. You care who wins? Do you have an interest?
I don't care who wins.
Interest?
I mean, I think I'll pull for Seattle once the game starts, but this is a game that on Tuesday, no, I don't care. But once the game kicks, it's hard for me to then not feel myself rooting, even if it's just tepidly.
You get pulled.
One side.
I agree with that. You tend to get pulled. JJ, any rooting interest for you?
I'll have 1,000 bets on this game by the kickoff, so hell yes.
I may need to just go ahead and do that.
Yeah. I mean it's the Super Bowl. At least have it on the side of who you think is going to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Because I literally, I am so like sick in terms of how I'm wired.
Yeah.
I could have $1 on it.
Yeah.
And it becomes the biggest thing
exactly.
in my
That's
life.
what makes
at that
it
moment.
fun.
JJ is a wonderfully likable degenerate gambler. You know what I mean? As the degenerate gamblers go, he's a very jolly degenerate gambler.
I also want to win our contest.
Right.
So I'm going for Seattle, but I probably will. Although I looked it up, 14 of the last 18 underdogs have covered in the Super Bowl. So that the betting trend is to take the Pats. It doesn't necessarily mean Seattle's going to win, but it'll be closer than what a lot of people expect, I think.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. I'll say this. I keep saying there's no juice for it. But the closer you get to Super Bowl weekend, because it's Super Bowl weekend is pretty cool.
And you get the food ready, and your buddy comes over, and I think like Sunday 1 p.m. I'm gonna be jacked for this.
Yeah, I probably will be too. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hayes Carline here. The big game is coming up, and no game day party is complete without Daisy French onion dip and ranch dip. Great tasting, delicious Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch onion dip is a must for any party you are throwing or attending. I will have mine. I can guarantee you friends are going to think you made it from scratch. I enjoy Daisy dips with chips, wings, and veggies. Look for Daisy French onion dip and ranch dip at a grocery store near you.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Hey gang, Hickett here. Guys, listen up. Valentine's is coming. You want to be a hero this year with something really romantic? It's easier than you think at Beards Diamonds. Beards has put together a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. They got it all at Beards. And here's the best part right now. Save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. You know, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family-owned and community-strong for more than 45 years right here in the St. John's Town Center, not some Wall Street chain. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. Get up to 40% off diamond earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Zero Res Month of Love Sale. Hicken here. Not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, it's also the biggest air filter in your home. If your carpet hasn't been professionally cleaned, you're breathing unhealthy levels of nasty dirt, dander, bacteria, and germs that keep recirculating again and again. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the 1010 XL or Dan Hicken special.
Zero Res.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills, drops, and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Are you taking weight loss drugs or medication that's making your hair fall out? Whether you're frustrated with results from treatments that just don't work, or you no longer have the fuller, thicker hair that you once had, there's a better way. Our hair restoration solutions have helped literally over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Ready to grow your hair back and have permanent, natural, and guaranteed results? For your confidential consultation, call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. That's hairforme.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, the golden moment today. We've had all kind of terrific moments on the program today. But I think the fun one today was certainly talking about what could happen with Florida State football. I think Florida State football is too big a deal to have drifted into the malaise that it has. It really is. And I think it bounces out of that, and I hope it does. And we'll see what winds up happening. Really intriguing year for the Noles coming up next year, no doubt about that. Also, we had our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's Sienna Dansell from Fletcher High School, and it was great having Sienna come by today. All right, we are winding down the program today. As we wind along, we certainly talked about a lot of basketball coming up. Golf right around the corner, bro. Right around. Will you be locked in this week?
Probably
to Phoenix. You're not locked into Phoenix.
Probably not, because as you go through it, so Florida has a huge basketball game Saturday night,
8:30 Eastern.
Yeah, so that'll be appointment viewing. So and then Sunday, it's just hard because you got the Super Bowl. So I think
they do it to finish as it's pregame starting.
Okay.
Like
because
that's their whole thing. I know they started early.
They must really tee off early on Sunday, but
they want it to be like the thing you watch before the game.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then there's a chance that I'll watch some of it. But golf with me, if it's not a major, and I include the players in that, if it's not a major, because even the playoff. It's hard because by that point, I am so ready for the NFL that there's a preseason game on that I'm going to watch over it. It's just how it is. Now, if our bet's competitive, then I'll lock in. But so golf for me, outside of those five, I just have to catch it at the right time. You know what I mean? If I'm watching TV on a Saturday or a Sunday and I see it, I will definitely click on golf. But I don't base my day around that I'm going to watch golf today, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll watch a little. I will watch. I think I'm going to. By the way, Sunday's going to be 70 degrees.
The weather's actually. I think we're about out of this misery.
Is there it doesn't get cold again after? Is it
well, that maybe, but at least for like next week's weather, it's like
lows
the highs
of 40s, not 20s.
Yeah,
and the highs are at least in like this low to mid 70s. So next week might actually be really nice.
Last night I'm at the. We have our day one of our 9th annual Walk-Off Charities high school baseball tournament. Thank you for always asking about that, Hayes.
Sure.
We have it, and it was cold, dude. I mean, at our Bregan Baseball Complex, it's this wonderful. And for people that haven't been there to our complex, Bregan Baseball Complex at the Fort Family Regional Park, it's big and open, and it sits in between these trees just off a highway, so the wind blows and it's cold. And I'm telling you, it was last night. I mean, I had them all. I had more clothes on. I could barely move. I was a Michelin man. I could barely move out there. But it was it was colder this, because I can tell you, we didn't do radio shows from there this year. We've done it in the past, and my friends here at 1010XL, Steve, and the folks here have been so good at letting us go out there anytime to promote this tournament. I'm very grateful for that. But we've traveled a lot with the show, and the tournament stands on its own a little bit now. So, but I do go out there right after it's over. And I will tell you, we've done all the years we've done shows out there. It's never been cold. You know that? Think about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's that we've had on a golf shirt and a pair of jeans or something. We have shorts necessarily, but it hasn't been like this. We'd have been miserable this week. I mean, it is cold.
I have a winter coat that I have never used in Jacksonville. It's always been for like road trips for covering the Jaguars. So this is a coat that I've had probably 10 years. And it's Cleveland. Nashville that time, it was crazy cold. Buffalo, it's a coat that literally stays in my closet. I never take it out. I've worn it probably every day for the last 3 weeks at some point to walk the dog or whatever it is. This has been madness. How cold it has been here, and thank goodness it looks like we might be coming, at least even if it's just for a week. I get it. We're in February.
Right.
It's probably going to get cold again, but at least we're going to get a brief respite from it next week, it appears.
I have these crotons and Hawaiian tea trees in my yard. Do you know what those are? They're the purple
No.
ones. They're the purple ones. So, the crotons are the multicolored. Anyway, I got Hawaiian teas and crotons in my yard. Now, they're a tropical plant, and you have to cover them, right? So we cover them. And look, we don't just throw a sheet on them. My wife, she goes on Amazon and gets the special cover your plant with cover, right? Okay. I'm telling you.
She's got Augusta National online one. What do you guys use for the azalea bushes?
And we cover these Hawaiian teas and crotons. The freeze just laughs at us. I can hear the weather saying, "Really?
That's cute."
You think it pats us on the head. Okay, you think this little garment from Amazon is going to keep me from just destroying your stuff? I'm going to destroy your stuff with glee, and that's what winds up happening. So we have those. So they're all, by the way, they're all dead.
I'm sorry to hear that.
They're all
That's
dead.
a bummer.
And our landscape guy said, "Well, you just cut them off and they come back." I'm not patient enough for that.
Yeah.
Yank
How long is that gonna take? What is this, Swamp Thing?
Exactly. Yank them out and put some new ones in. We'll take a break. We'll come back, wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Thursday begins the Waste Management Phoenix Open at TPC Scottsdale on the PGA Tour. Scotty Scheffler, who won the American Express earlier this season, the betting favorite to win the tournament at plus 220. Xander Schauffele plus 1,700. Cameron Young at plus 2,500. Siwoo Kim plus 2,700. Hideki Matsuyama also plus 2,700 to win at Phoenix. And Sam Burns is at plus 3,000. Scheffler is the betting favorite to win the Masters at Augusta in April at plus 280. He's also the betting favorite to win the PGA Championship in May at plus 380.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Roses are red, Florida gets hotter, and your AC is about to ruin the mood. If your system barely survived last summer, now's the time to replace it before the real heat comes back swinging. Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning makes it easy. No surprises, no runaround. And with our Sweetheart AC deals, get $750 off a new AC system when you install by March 15th. Fall in love with an AC that keeps it cool without the stress and call now for a free estimate. 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Low mortgage rates are back. Listen, Loan Pronto has fixed rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%. It's the lowest in years. Hey, gang, Prosser here. Smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you can lower your payment big time. Or you can keep your primary mortgage intact, get cash out, equity with Loan Pronto's rapid equity loans. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards, some car loans, and cut their monthly expense by $2,000. Call now. See what option works best for you, but don't miss this big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous rapid equity loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 904-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com. No hard credit pull. 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit
NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
People ask me all the time what's healthy, and that's hard because healthy is different from losing weight. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. There are a lot of foods out there that are healthy foods, but they're not going to support your weight loss. And that's what we're here to help with. We're here to help you get in the healthy foods that are going to help you lose weight. The Awaken 180 difference is our coaches. It's our team. You can find things online about weight loss, but you try them yourself and they just don't work. And that's because everyone is different. And that's what our coaches are so skilled at helping you figure out.
Thanks, Paige. Hacker here. Figuring it out, that's what I needed. And the reason I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Not a med, not a diet plan. I wanted a solution. Do what I did and make a 180 with your health and weight. Schedule your Awaken 180 consultation today. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We sure thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. My goodness. Proud to be a sponsor for Nimnick and have been for the longest time and will be as long as they'll have me. I can promise you that. So thanks to my friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships. This story just moved, by the way. Brooke Pryor wrote it about 45 minutes ago. I'm sure it's moving everywhere. This is where I saw it on ESPN.com that David White, to your point, Hayes, the interim executive director, made it very clear, quote, our members have no appetite for regular season 18th game. The 18th game is not casual for us. It's a very serious issue. It's something that comes out of negotiations, and nothing will move forward until players have the opportunity to account for all those factors, take that into consideration, and then through negotiations, agree or not agree to the 18th game. But as it stands right now, players have been very clear they don't have an appetite for it. Well, he said they don't have an appetite for it. Then you heard the rest of that. The rest of that said, what are you going to pay us?
Right.
Okay, it started out with we don't have an appetite for us, but then it comes, it's a very serious issue. It's something that comes out of negotiations, and nothing will move forward until players have the opportunity to account for all those factors, take that into consideration, and then through negotiations, agree or not to the 18th.
I don't have an appetite, but I could be hungry in a couple hours.
That's exactly right. That's clearly what that says.
The other thing, too, is I think there's a misconception that the stars of this league run the players' union, and that's not the case. Who runs the players' union in terms of the votes are the players that aren't going to be in this league very long. And the average career in this league is about 3 years. Those are the guys that are going to vote for the 18th game. Those are going to be the guys that are demanding to get the 18th. Yeah, if you're a star in this league, getting the 18th game isn't, I mean, you're going to make money, but it's not life-changing. But it's all the guys, all the reserves that just crush the stars in terms of numbers. And they're going to vote for it, and they're going to demand it gets through because those 3 years that they're in the league, their average career, they're going to make money that will change their lives more than where it would stand staying at the 17th game. So always remember, in terms of the Players Association, think like a reserve would think, because that's who's going to win the vote, because there's way more of them than there are the stars of the league.
Very good point. Very good point. And here's the other reason they'll expand. Because everybody expands.
Right.
Everybody always expands. You always add games and teams and leagues and years, and nobody ever doesn't expand. I mean, you never don't expand. Once expansion, you think baseball's going to 32 teams? Of course they're going to 32 teams because everybody expands. It's not going to change.
And I do think that once they get to 18, I don't think it will change for decades. I think we will be at 18 games for a minimum of 25 years before they entertain a 19th or a 20th. I think this will be the final change to the NFL regular season schedule.
I think you're exactly right about that. Let's say a little Rick below.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnick. Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
18 games, yes or no?
Yes. Everyone wants it, except for the players.
But do the players really not want it, or do they want to get a lot for it?
Well, they deserve a lot for it.
Yeah.
They deserve to get paid. And, the comments that came today from the National Football League Players Association is a great way to get that out there.
Right.
You look at what Roger Goodell said yesterday. He mentioned 4 factors. He didn't mention pay.
Right.
He mentioned 2 buys. He mentioned expanding the roster. He mentioned travel. And he said some other things, but he avoided the biggest point. These guys get paid biweekly. That's why they don't like international travel either, because all the taxes that you got to pay when you, and God forbid, I mean, can you imagine us not having football in Paris? I mean, what are we going to do?
What about Melbourne?
Crying out loud. I feel so bad for our football fans. I mean, out in Paris, I mean, my daughter spent a year there, for crying out loud. I'm still digging in my backyard, getting mason jars to pay for that trip. And you're going to send them out there to play a football game. No one wants to play out there. And, Roger Goodell yesterday said, everyone loves to play out there. I want just one name. Give me just put one name on it, and don't do it when it's canned, and I'll take one for the team. How about send out a silent vote on who wants to play internationally? My guess is over 90% would come back saying, we don't want anything
I think it
to
would
do
be
with
like 99%.
Yeah.
I've never had a player tell me they like it. Yeah.
And now they want to get rid of Thursday night games. Again, I think the Thursday night game and the extra game is all just the plan to get some more money.
And I think ultimately it's going to happen. I was wrong. I thought it would be. I said the 26th season. I said all along we'd have an 18th game, and we're not now. But I thought it would be. I thought this would be the year we went to 18. Yeah. What's coming up?
All right, no happy ending for Bob Kraft. We'll talk about that. Derek Trucks is going to join me in 30 minutes. And
awesome.
He's got a new album that's coming out.
Very cool.
Also, St. Aug Amp in October. They got 2 shows, so we'll get into that. And I want to relive all the great comments that were made, all the truthful comments that were made yesterday by Roger Goodell, who went on the exact same time as I did. So I get to relive that.
How about that?
24 hours.
2 stars going on at the same time. That's what happens.
There you go.
That's what happens. Thank you, Rick. Rick Beluga's Into the Night. That comes up right now. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.